Welcome to Orange Weekly, presented by Krause Health. 6 feet away from Chris Carlson, I'm Brent. Coming up, Syracuse head coach Dino Babers breaks down the Syracuse quarterback situation. Both Tommy DeVito and Rex Culpepper look like they're going to play against Georgia Tech, but how will he split the reps? We'll preview the matchup against the Yellow Jackets, and Carrier Dome 2.0 opens up. But Chris, we start with Syracuse's loss a week ago to Pittsburgh. A lot of the same stories from North Carolina. Defense played well. The offense just couldn't come through and capitalize on those opportunities.
Yeah, the offense is really, they're last in the country in pretty much everything, right? And you know, I know the story for a lot of people was Dino Babers not calling timeouts, but I wasn't looking to see how many timeouts they had at that point. I mean, the offense, the way the offense was playing, they don't look like a team that can score.
Tommy DeVito, Rex Culpepper, at this point doesn't really matter. If Rex Culpepper was good enough, Chris, in the sense of being the starting quarterback, he would have beaten Tommy DeVito out by now. I think that's fair to say. But I think Dino's taking the right approach, or at least leaving the option open to have both quarterbacks out there and have a package for both Tommy DeVito and Rex Culpepper, because you're kind of looking for answers right now, so you can't really say no to a lot of options.
Yeah, you know, I understand the idea that the offense might have looked a little better with Rex in there, and maybe he was making decisions a little bit quicker. But he also missed some throws pretty badly that show you where the accuracy is. That's not going to win you very many games, you know, and you've got to play for the ceiling to win games. And Tommy DeVito's the guy long-term that can, you know, if he gets right and if they figure things out, he can win you games. I think the ceiling with Rex Culpepper would be pretty low.
The freshman running back Sean Tucker got a little run last week against Pittsburgh, but getting the ball in the playmakers' hands. They didn't throw to the tight end position once again, and here you have Taj Harris, who had that nice 69-yard touchdown from Rex Culpepper, but for the most part, Harris and Anthony Quealy and Nykeem Johnson and these receivers are kind of out on an island waiting for something to happen out there. And one of the reasons this offense has struggled, Chris, is the offensive line, of course. And you wrote about it this week. Chris Blake, the Florida transfer who was waiting around, and then just a couple days before the season starts, the NCAA denied his waiver, and we found out a little bit more about why.
Well, I don't know if we necessarily know why, but we know what the waiver entailed. Chris felt that at Florida, he played through injuries. He didn't like, and his family didn't like, the testing they did to kind of diagnose those injuries. They gave him an X-ray, but they didn't give him an MRI, and it seemed like a soft tissue injury. He felt he should have gotten a little understanding from his coaches that he was playing hurt, and instead they kind of rode him and demanded more, as football coaches are wont to do. But I think we can understand how that would sour a relationship if people are screaming at you, telling you to do something that you physically can't do. And then after the season, he gets tested, and he's got a double sports hernia, and he's torn hip cartilage. That's a lot to be playing through. So that's why he applied for the waiver, that he didn't like the medical treatment at Florida. We don't necessarily know why it was denied by the NCAA, but his family thinks that Florida probably disputed some of those medical details. Those things are tricky when you're making allegations against somebody else, and somebody else might not want to admit that these allegations are true. And then you've sort of got a he said, she said.
And that's it. And it's such a unique story because, what is it? I think 75% of the NCAA transfer waivers, especially this year, with players
90 this year.
90% this year, with players looking to get closer to home due to the COVID situation. Now, Chris fell out of that window. Yeah. There's a certain mileage there and a lot of details you can read about in Chris's story, but a unique situation for sure, and the offensive line could sure use him. Whatever quarterback that offensive line protects for this week is going to be interesting to watch. Here's Syracuse head coach Dino Babers breaking that down in Syracuse Soundbites.
I think the biggest thing is, I know you guys are going to start this controversy, but the big thing is we're going to play the best guy. We're not trying not to play the best guy. We always see people on where they're going to go instead of maybe where they're going to end up. But there's no doubt that Rex has his packages, and we're going to play those two guys. And right now, Tommy's still our starter, but Rex has his packages, and we're going to see how they go.
Chris, what a unique situation here. A $118 million renovation, the new roof, the new scoreboard, all the bells and whistles, and there's going to be barely anybody inside the Carrier Dome to see it.
Yeah, not exactly how Syracuse wanted to debut these amenities that they're saying will create a new stadium experience. I'm fortunate enough, each media organization gets to send one person. I'll be there for us. So I will try to share with you as best I can via social media, via stuff on our webpage, what it's going to be like in there. But, not how Syracuse wanted to have this big celebration.
Not at all. But we'll get a look at it against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, and it's a team that comes in at 1-1, losing a week ago to number 14 Central Florida, but started the season with an impressive win over Florida State. They've got a young quarterback in Jeff Sims that can move, pretty accurate passer. But the thing is, Chris, and this is where the Syracuse defense is kind of licking its chops, Georgia Tech had 5 turnovers last week, so they're going to certainly look to get to the young quarterback and do that again.
Yeah, that's where Syracuse, you feel like you got a decent chance this week. Georgia Tech is 2 years removed from running the triple option. They still don't have the personnel on offense that they would like to have. Now they're starting. Jeff Sims, freshman quarterback, they stole him as a recruit from Florida State. He's very good. He's a dual threat. He can run, he can pass, but he's also going to make those young player mistakes that, Syracuse's defense has a chance to really help out its offense, and they're going to have to. They already have, right? I mean, the defense has done a great job providing the offense scoring opportunities. They're going to have to do it again, and then, hopefully Georgia Tech's a little bit less explosive than, North Carolina and Pittsburgh.
Well, speaking of explosive, another freshman, Jameer Gibbs, a running back last week, very impressive game, came off the bench. A 75-yard kickoff return, finished with 66 yards rushing and a threat out of the backfield. The big question for Georgia Tech, too, is they missed a number of starters last week, a lot of them on defense for reasons that were not explained. So we'll see what the case is there. And there were some key players on that Georgia Tech defense that were not on the field a week ago. We'll see if they make the trip to Syracuse. Chris, I'm going to do it. Syracuse gets their first win of the season. They beat Georgia Tech. I think this is a close game. I think finally those opportunities will be cashed in, and the Orange win a tight one at the Dome. I'm going to say 24-21.
So I have a hard time with this one. I can see it, but the offense has not shown me enough to pick it. So I don't know why the spread is as high as it is, but I'm taking Georgia Tech 17-13. Just they've shown a little bit more on offense.
Why is the spread as high as it is, Chris? The answer to that is always Vegas wants your money. That's why. That is Orange Weekly. Thank you for watching. Thanks to our friends at Krause Health. Thanks to Chris Carlson. We'll talk to you again next time.